What's up, folks? This is Eric with Option Edge, and today I want to look at MicroStrategy, and basically I'm looking for specific technical parameters that are going to tell me when to get long this stock, and I think I might have found them. So right now I'm visually kind of backtesting the MACD indicator with some Bollinger Bands. These are the 1 standard deviation Bollinger Bands. So you can see that when the stock pops up above the 1 standard deviation Bollinger Band, you get some momentum, some follow through the upside. Not so much back in the previous months. And if you look at the MACD, in the fast MACD, when the blue is over the orange, that tends to be a signal for upward momentum. And you can see here, it kind of worked. And in the past, it worked a little bit too. So I'm going to go into my backtesting software and see what exactly works and what doesn't. So let's go. All right, so in the last 3 years, I want to see what happens if I just opened up a long call with a 30-day expiry and out with a 50% gain, out with a 50% loss. That means we're closing. And here's the different deltas of those calls. So you can see over the past 3 years, just simply buying calls with no technical parameter would be a pretty good strategy. Yeah, and you can see our win rates here around, the further, these are 20 and 30 delta options further out of the money. Lower win rates above 50 or greater, which is good, and a high return. So now let's go and add some technical parameters and see if we can increase our win rate and maybe even increase the return as well. So let's go to technical open. We have our MACD. We want to set above, where the fast is above the slow, and then we're going to have our Bollinger Band parameter where the stock crosses up through the upper band of the 1 standard deviation band. Let's hit save and see how the results come out. So you can see that maybe our win percentage was slightly higher, barely, but our returns are much, much lower with the 1 standard deviation Bollinger Band. Let's go back to the chart. So let's change this from 1 to 2 and visually kind of back test and see if we can catch any momentum. So back here you can see this crossed up and there was some momentum going forward. Happen again over here. There was some momentum, and then it doesn't really happen very often. Maybe here once, here once, here it happened again, and then if we look up here, it happened again, and it happens a couple times as we're moving up here. So let's see what the backtester will say with the 2 standard deviation Bollinger Band. Let's go ahead and change that to 2. This seems to be the trigger I was looking for. So you can see that our win percentage is almost 3 out of 4 wins. The further out of the money options, a little less, a little bit over 2/3, which is still great. And our total return percentage is much higher, the highest being around 700 for these out of the money calls. They're now as high as 1,200. So pretty good trigger for MicroStrategy is a 2 standard deviation Bollinger Band, and along that MACD indicator. And just to compare, this is the results with no technical indicator. Then these are the results with the technical indicators I added.